May I now request Mr. Amarnath to please present a token of appreciation.
Could we have a big round of applause for Kinnari?
May I now introduce Mr. Soumyabrata Mukherjee, Deputy Principal Secondary, JBCN International School, Borivali. Soumyabrata Mukherjee is an experienced leader in both Cambridge and IB schools and has contributed to the development of a quality CAS program for students. He believes that learning is a self-starting, self-propelling process and that each individual is unique. Leadership, in his view, is creating a stimulating environment that supports risk-taking and collaboration. May I now request Mr. Soumyabrata to take the stage.
Good afternoon to all of you. I know exactly what you're going through after a heavy lunch. This is exactly what students go through for the fag end of the day, 7th and 8th period. And this is exactly what teachers go through when you call for an after-school meeting. Do you all agree with me? Right. So it is very, very important to get the focus back. Right? So this is exactly what I'm going to do with you as well. But before we do that, can we please come closer? Can some of us please come over here? Because I want at least 4 or 5 school leaders in one table. Yeah. You prefer staying there? That's fine. I would request you to do something, okay, which we have not done from morning, okay? Can you have the video, please? I want you to stand up and let the child in you come out. There is a child with all of us. Just pause. Yeah. There is a child in all of us. Okay, let that come out. Because it is very important that as leaders, we are happy. If we are not happy, the teachers are not happy. If teachers are not happy, students are not happy. So it is a big thing for all of us as school leaders to be very, very happy. Not an easy thing to do. Very hard thing to do, I know that. But we have to be happy because we have chosen this profession. We are leading a group of teachers who are looking at you as their role model, and we have a lot to do for them. Okay? So let's just do this to bring our focus back. This is an activity of mindfulness, okay? Being focused on the task at hand. And I wanted you to bring that child that is there in you, let that come out, okay? Can I have that? Just do what they're doing there, okay? Just do what they're doing.
Move and Freeze from the award-winning CD, Brain Boogie Boosters by The Learning Station. Come on, move and freeze. 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 Put your right hand on your left knee, your left hand on your right. Your knees move in and out, your hands stay tight. Now keep on with your moving, but switch hands on your knees. Keep on moving in and out till we say freeze. Come on, move and 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 freeze. Put one hand across your shoulder, one hand across your back. Now jump in place. Do you like it like that? Yeah! Now switch hands across your shoulders and switch hands across your back. Now just be nimble, just be quick, just like Jack. Come on, jump and freeze.
I know that it was something to ask for, and it's a task. It is very taxing, I know that as well. And many of us have not done anything of this for many years now. Again, I get back to my same question, okay? And that is, are you happy? I'm not asking an answer, okay? I want you to reflect. Are we all happy as school leaders? What I want you now to do is select a partner, somebody who is sitting right next to you on your right-hand side, and discuss with that lady or the gentleman something that you were crazy about when you were a child, like playing cricket, badminton, dancing. You were crazy about. And that was the only thing that was going through your head day in and day out. You always wanted to become a cricketer or a badminton player or a dancer, okay? Share your name, share your passion that you had in your childhood with the person sitting next to you on your right-hand side. Okay, I will ask the person sitting on the right-hand side to tell me about your name and your passion. Okay, I just give you 3 minutes to do that. Something that you always wanted to do, you are passionate about that, your day used to start with that, your day used to end with that, you used to dream about that. I'll go back to that. Have you all discussed? Some discussions going on in this table here. Right. Are you all done? Fantastic. Did we all knew each other's name before we came here? No. And what is time now? Almost, 3:15ish, right? And till this time, we were clueless about who is sitting next to me probably, right? What do you think, why I did this activity? And can you apply this activity anywhere in school? Sorry? Right.
Now, as being a teacher or as a principals, we are bound with the space. So we don't look to the partner who is sitting next to us.
Right.
As a friendly atmosphere, to create a friendly atmosphere from 3 4 hours we are sitting, but we are unaware of each other.
Very interesting perspective, right? Anyone else?
So felt very better that I had 2 words of talk with each other.
Right. Right.
And you wanted to talk to the other person, but you don't, maybe, I don't know, have the social skills or the communication skills to break that ice.
Right. I am working in a school which has more than 150 staff members, right, teaching community, I mean. And I feel that in a school or in any organization, it is imperative that we know each other. As a school leader, I have to know everybody in the school. We just cannot say that X is a good physics teacher, Y is a good chemistry teacher. There is much more in that person rather than just talking about his chemistry skills and physics skills. The moment a teacher understands that the leaders care for them, they know them, it brings a different atmosphere, it creates a different atmosphere in the school. It is not a choice, it is a must. We all should know this, that this is a must. Okay? So, for mid-management level leadership team, for the senior management, for the head of school, it is very, very important that we know the skills that each one has in my school so as to utilize their talent properly. Do you think it's a good idea to know each other?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that is the context of my discussion with all of you today. And I briefly touched about that context through an activity. I'm going to discuss with you and take your inputs in how to create a culture of inclusion. We have talked about inclusive education, okay? We have talked about the inclusiveness that is there in the classroom, right? Amongst the learners. There are various types of learners. But how often do we talk about the inclusiveness that exists in the staff body? Do we do that? How often we do that? Do we celebrate the differences or we don't? And if not, then why? Okay? So we'll touch base upon all of these aspects as and when we discuss a few points from there. But we all agree that it is important that we understand the diversity that exists in a school or in any organization. And those needs to be seen, those needs to be heard, right? Anu, what do I do next? Yeah, I got it. Can you all see? Can you all see it properly? So there are two scenarios. One is 1969, hypothetical number. There's a group of, there's a parent asking the child, explain the bad grades. And today, they're facing the teacher. Explain the bad grades. Okay? So it is very, very important to understand what teachers go through every day when they come to school, from morning till evening. It is very, very easy to set expectations for them, right? This is what you have to do, tack, 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 tack. But do we understand that they have expectations from us? They have expectations from the school, right? Is it unfair from their part to expect something from us? I believe no, because it has changed. Everything is, they're bombarded with so many things, right? So this is is it the truth? Is it the fact? Or is it something that is a myth? Is this what is happening in most of our schools now? Right, I thought so. Quickly, you have a chart paper.
There's a chart paper there on that.
No. I got chart papers. Please do that. Can I have the chart papers here? No, not that. Yeah, can I have one chart paper per table?
Hello?
Yeah.
The one thing which I noticed about this slide, I don't know about others, bad results was there at that time also, and it is there at this time also. So we should rather focus on that rather than,
No,
yes,
what- yeah.
yes, that, of course it is there, the things have changed, but bad result part is constantly there.
So we are not talking about the
I
bad
mean,
results part.
yeah. I
We're
mean,
talking
has
about what
everybody,
teacher has to go through then and now.
Yeah, but bad results is there that time also and this time also. So and I just wanted to bring it out. Notice kiya ye point.
Definitely. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Can I have the mic, please?
Leave alone the 69s and today's scenario.
Right.
The same young parent as a parent and the same person as a teacher has two faces. You will see they behave differently when they are teachers, and when they go to their child's school as a parent, it's a different scenario. I have seen it.
You're exactly right. Why, I am a father to a senior KG son,
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Because it's
Yes,
because this was something which happened with me just the last week when the teacher told me, I said, you too? She says, what do you mean? I said, you are talking differently in the class when you are a teacher, but as a parent you have done that only. So she told me yesterday, she says, Miss, I think I need to reflect what you told me.
Excellent.
So this is what the difference. Leave alone the 60s.
True. Very true. You got a chart paper? No? Yes. No. Okay. Quickly write down 4 or 5 attributes of a 21st century teacher. As a school leader, what you feel should be the attributes of a 21st century teacher. Just discuss it and then as a group come to 4 or 5 attributes and then just jot them down in that sheet. Five, 6, 4, whatever. I know that you write down at least 15. It is very important that as leaders we understand what are we expecting from them. Are you all done? May I request any one of the groups to choose a representative and share what you have collectively jotted down? Can we start from that group there? Can we start from that group? Yeah. Somebody can hold it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. This is called collaboration and team playing. We are all doing it together. So we felt a teacher has to be definitely a problem solver. She has to be a collaborator and a team player. She has to have IT skills. She needs to be effective in her communication. Would you like to add on?
She is a lifelong learner. Every time she has to learn like a kid. She has to behave like a kid, whatever the age is there. Then resources and initiative takes. We have to take the initiative learning process that implement on the children as per as the parent. Because the parent, when they come, we have to explain them also. So we have to always be aware of this thing. Then the risk taker. We are always the risk taker. Every time the risk can come, we should be alert for that. We should be answerable for that. Then the next is self-awareness and relearning. Then again it comes again, then self-learner we have to be. We have to go with each and everything. Now example, as the Hindustan Times gives us the paper, it is first our duty to go through the paper and then distribute to the students, but we won't do that. Because we are the heads of the school. So always we have to be in touch with this. Because now the example, when they gave the newspaper to us, the many times we were turning the pages because we are not used to that and we are representing as a relearner over here. So we have to learn each and everything what we implement on the students. And the self-awareness, we have been a goal setter. We are the goal setter. We have to take a target that where we have to reach. As a teacher, we got the post, we are sitting on the chair. It's just a chair, but we have to walk around to see each and everybody's what are the goods, bads for the teacher, what are students. As a leader, we are not supposed only with the student. We are related with the teacher, with the non-teaching staff, with the peon, with the kalama, with everyone, with the bai, whatever we call them. We should be aware what the around above it is going on, whether the bai has eaten the tiffin or not, whether the children, what they are doing in the recess, how we can impact their focus, vision on during the recess time, what we can give the games, we can play the projector, etc. what it is there.
Anyone wants to add to that? Anything that you want to add? Most of it were discussed. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to add to what she has said? Teacher as a counselor.
To the students, to the parents, everything. That is something which is very much teacher as a counselor, where she has to counsel the students, maybe discipline or academics, whatever the concerns. Parents as well, when they do come, they need to be convinced of, because it's not easy for the parent to accept if a child has been said ki, okay, this child has these problems or these things, which areas to be worked upon.
Right.
Parents are not easy to accept that thing.
Parents are parents always, right?
Yes. So they have to be counseled. Many a times we have had young parents coming in, going through problems in their life, separation or something, where we again have to counsel them also if they can get together and be a parent for the child.
Counsel students in the classroom,
Yes,
counsel parents,
Correct.
counsel colleagues,
right.
go back home, counsel your
Colleagues also.
husband.
Oh,
It goes on.
it goes
right?
on.
It goes on.
That's a part of your personal life, but at the professional it is.
Wonderful insights. Oh. Please. But as a leader, you have to create that platform for them, right? So that assessment of where you stand has to be there, right? And then you have to open that platform, create an atmosphere, create a culture in school that promotes that kind of exchange, right? That is exactly the context of my discussion today. As a leader, you have to create that culture, okay? Some of the things that I thought, I just put them in a list, not in order, not in any specific order. Multi-literate, right? Every teacher now has to be tech savvy. You have to fit in the marks in report, the management system and all those things. You have to use IT in your teaching and learning processes, right? So every teacher has to be multi-literate, multi-specialist, multi-skilled, okay? You are not teaching one subject nowadays because you cannot teach one subject in isolation. Physics is related to math, some aspects related to art and design, right? So none of the subjects you can teach in isolation. Study more about the education in Finland, okay? Something that you should read back, go back and read, okay? Finnish education. So we are expecting teachers to teach English, social studies, global perspective, psychology, art and design, right? So they have to be multi-specialist. They have to be lifelong learner, as one of you have said. Very flexible. They have to understand the type of learners that exist in a classroom. They cannot just go with one size fits all approach inside the classroom. It will not fit in. Okay, so they have to customize and tailor make their lessons so that the learning styles that exist in a classroom are catered to, right? We all agree. It sounds familiar, right? I'm not saying something that is what I have invented. Okay, I'm just saying what is being discussed. I really agree with you. Counselors, they are excellent counselors nowadays. Okay, what I really wanted to hear from you was the last bit of it. Emotional quotient, right? I have always believed that as a learner, I will love the subject if I love the teacher. I love the teacher, I love the subject. I don't love the teacher, I don't love the subject. And that love for the teacher does not come in one day. Okay? So there has to be a constant effort that a teacher has to make. Okay? Having said that, teachers should be emotional, but the bad emotions has to be kept outside the classroom. The negative emotions, they have to keep outside the classroom, right? And they have to keep on motivating the learners inside the classroom and outside the classroom. So with all these, I can only say that every teacher is a superhero. You all agree with me? Yes. Every teacher is a superhero. And to deal with the superheroes, you need super duper heroes. You all are the superheroes. Super duper heroes, right? So they're looking at a super duper hero because they are superheroes. Okay? We have a lot to do in their lives. Do we do that? Or do we just say too much of work, too much of administrative work, too much of this, that? But we have to prioritize the things that we do day in and day out. Okay? Easier said than done, but something that we have to reflect. We talked about 21st century teacher and their attributes. What are the attributes of a 21st century school leader? What do you make out of these two pictures there? That could have been the third picture as well, where the red person standing at the back. I have not included that. What kind of a leader you are? The one in the left-hand side or in the, right-hand side and the left-hand side? No answer. You think about it, okay? What I feel, the way I looked at these two figures, I feel that the need of this kind of leadership is the need of the hour. we have to come out of that concept of holding an office in one corner of the building and then direct information and instructions from there. We have to go and mix with the crowd that I have. Okay? Understand each one that I'm working with and make a difference in their lives. If you have made a difference in any one of their lives, I believe your work as a leader is done. Our work as leaders are done. Our work as teachers are done when I have transformed a child. Okay? So this kind of leadership is very, very important in today's context. We have leaders who will step up and take the responsibility when things go odd, things go wrong. Okay? There are also leaders who will step back, okay, where in times of adversity, we put the team up front. We're not talking about those. We're talking about good leaders. But good leaders will take that charge, will take that responsibility. Okay? Will take that responsibility. But what is more important is to go and sit with them, have a cup of coffee with them, have a relaxing lunch with them. Do we do that on a day-to-day basis? Just have an informal meeting with them. How often do we have informal meetings with our staff? Something to reflect, something to think. Another activity, too many. I have taken Cambridge School Leader Standards, okay, and there are around 8 standards for any school leader that Cambridge came up with, okay, because I'm working in a Cambridge school, so I thought this could serve as a benchmark, okay, and yes, you can't read that. So what I'll do is, I will, please can you just distribute? I may not have one for each one of you. You can share. Have you all got that? You have this? One can have one. Yeah. It's a bunch. It's a bunch. Do you have the bunch stapled? Not one sheet, okay? So there are 8 standards, okay? I wanted to quickly go through those 8 standards, quickly, okay? And we'll do a Diamond 8 activity. Order them in terms of their importance, okay? What you feel after you have discussed in the group, okay? The most important one stands alone on top, okay? Then we have 2 of them in the next level. In the third level, we'll have 3 of those standards. So how many done? 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6. 2 in the 4th level, okay? So order them out in terms of their importance, okay? Just go through it quickly first, okay? And have a brief discussion about that. Anyone needs a copy of it? Another one? Yeah. Yes, on that sheet. Please put down your observations in the chart paper there. Put the one, what you feel is the most important on top. Then the second level will have 2 standards. Third level will have 3 standards. The 4th one will have 2 standards. one. Which one you think is the most important standard out of those 8 standards? Each of those standards have been detailed in subsequent pages. This is one activity that you can go back and do with your mid-management team or even with the teachers. Almost. You don't have to finish this activity, that's fine. I just wanted to ask you, what was the problem that you faced while making this order? Everything is important, but as a school leader, there has to be something which is of more importance to you. That is why, okay. What challenges you faced before coming to this order that you have created? What are the challenges you faced?
Everybody agreeing about what is the priority or not.
Right. So everybody in your, I mean, there are 4 members in your group.
We didn't all think.
So you all had different perspectives, right? You all had a different order. So everybody as a school leader will have a different list of items and a different thought process, right? It is very important that you discuss this with your stakeholders. You discuss it with your leadership team and order them, okay? It cannot be that you have a different goal and different priorities and your team has different priorities, right? So it is very important to take into consideration the different perspectives that your team members have and then come to a common and a mutually agreed order. It may be that instead of having 1 on top, you will have 2. It may not be a pyramid. It may not be the diamond shape. It can go 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay? Up to you, up to your leadership team. Okay? I would request you to go back and do this activity. Okay? And the details of those strands are given in subsequent pages. Read them through first before doing this activity. Okay? What we did was, the last activity, what we did was, we heard each other, right? We have respected each other's opinions. We have heard the perspective that each one had in the team, right? That is inclusiveness. That is listening to each other and, respecting to what they have to say. What is wrong in just hearing? Do you have to give money? Do you have to spend money to hear somebody? No. If it makes somebody feel good and valued, you have to listen. Who knows? It may give you a kick. It may spark a new idea. Okay? So it's very important that you create that culture where there is exchange of ideas. Okay? How do we create that? How do we create that culture? So I've got some very basic and very simple tips what you can do when you go back, okay, to create that culture of inclusiveness in school. It is very important that the leadership team, the head of school and his or her team, commits to this purpose and have a purpose statement written down, focusing on what needs to be done, who will be involved in making this change in school or create this culture of inclusion, how will you go about doing that, what would be the timeline that you're looking at, and why you need to do that. What is the importance? Yes.
And also, I think, are you trying to say that there has to be a shared focus?
It has to be first you introspect, first you reflect, you discuss it within the leadership team, then roll it out. Let's see what other teachers have to say about that. It's very important that you are transparent as a leader. You are open to communication. Okay? You communicate right things at the right time. And you hear things from your staff. Okay? So there has to be a change that has to be brought into the staff meeting. I'll come to that later on. Embracing, the diversity that is there in your staff. Okay? There are different types of people in this room, right? You are school leaders, and everybody has a special skill. Okay, so celebrate that. Okay, make them in charges of those activities. Okay, but you have to first identify those skills. For that, you have to go close to them. You have to listen to them. Promote mindfulness at work. How do you do that? Okay, very simple. You start any meeting with a pause. Simple pause for 1 minute. You end a meeting with a pause. Okay? When you start a meeting with a pause at the end of the day, what it does? Throughout the day, teachers are very busy, right? They do all those things. And when they come for the meeting, they are dead. Okay? You have to bring them back. Because what you are saying, if it doesn't go through the head, then it's purposeless, right? So you have to create that culture of promoting mindfulness in school. Simple ways, breathing exercises. Okay, pick up a mantra. Positiveness starts with me. Every day, after every 2 hours, I repeat that. Positiveness starts with me. Positiveness starts with me. Okay, if you repeat that, you'll be filled with positive energies. Okay, do that. Try that out. And if you research more about it, what else you can do? But make an effort. Do something when you go back. Deliberately include voices from different backgrounds and perspectives, so as to learn more, okay, and take a more informed decision, rather than saying that we have sat together and this is what we have decided, you all have to follow. Okay? Then staff goes like this. Not again. That is what happens. Okay? When you have not brought everybody on the same page, you will have difficulty in getting the outcome that you desire. It is very important to include them, hear them, communicate with them, take their opinion. As a leadership team, you know in most of the cases what decision you have taken and what you have to do. But it's still better that you include their voice as well. Okay? So just to tell them that we are there to listen to you. Meeting change. It cannot be that every time the coordinator or the head of school or the vice principal conducts a meeting. Just give a chance to your staff members, the department heads, to conduct a meeting. And you see the change. It will definitely bring a positive change. Okay? Seek feedback from teachers. We have discussed about that. Every teacher has different experiences, right? Different backgrounds, different training needs. So you develop a targeted training calendar for each teacher. We talk about external workshops, right? I have to go for that online face-to-face workshop organized by Cambridge or by MISA, right? What about teachers teaching other teachers inside your school? Don't we have 10 strong leaders in school? Let them identify 10 different areas for discussion, okay, 10 different workshops that they have to conduct, and in each group include 5 or 6 teachers. So every workshop that is conducted in-house is facilitated by the lead facilitator, who can be your subject head, who can be your coordinator, who can be your head of school. But they'll work with 4 or 5 teachers. Okay? So teachers learn from each other and they conduct the workshop. So if you are doing 5 or 8 workshops in a year, you have invariably involved 40 to 50 teachers in that process. Okay? How often do you ask teachers what we are doing right in school and what we can do better? Do an exercise with the teacher. Ask them what we are doing well. List them down. Break it into administrative and academic issues. Okay? And what we need to do better. There will be 15 different items at least. Okay? You cannot resolve all of the issues, right? But there will be 1 or 2 issues which can be fixed immediately. Chai nahi hai, chai patti nahi hai staff room mein. So there will be very simple 2-3 issues which can be fixed immediately, and that sets the tone. The message that you send across is the management has asked from us what things needed to be developed. And they have worked on 2 or 3 things. Okay? So there is an effort from the management side as well. That is the message that you are sending across. Promote sharing of best practices. I don't need to talk about that. You discuss your lesson plans, hear from all different teachers, how they are conducting their sessions, the tools that they're using, and what benefits those users have brought in their teaching and learning processes, right? So you create a platform. When do we do that? You don't ask teachers to wait back 5 days after school to be a part of this. You have to find a time in your calendar, in your academic calendar. You have to make a time in your timetable where you will ask for all these. Okay? You can ask teachers to wait back once in a week after school, definitely, because it is their professional development, right? But not on 3 or 4 days. I have done that mistake previously, okay? And the response was not that great. The purpose is great, but I'm asking them to stay back after school 3 days in a week. And it doesn't click, doesn't happen, to be honest, okay? So make time in your timetable when you discuss about the best practices, okay? Share the unit plans, lesson plans, the tools that you're using, okay, in the classroom. I would request all of you to go back and do a little more research on lesson study, which is the core of Japanese educational system and the reforms. Okay, very, very good read. Okay, this will definitely help you. I'll send across this presentation so that you can take a look at it.
So there's a very nice book called The Jigsaw Puzzle of a Successful School.
Lovely.
It's a beautiful book. And exactly what you see. Yeah, sure. I don't remember the author now, but the book is called, I think it's low on battery. So the book is called The Jigsaw Puzzle of a Successful School. So exactly how you laid out, and wanted us to make this grid about what is your priority or what should be. So it was a puzzle which was made of 11 pieces. And so you had to, pick up the core piece, that what would be the core of your school, and then move outward. And towards the end, and it was a beautiful workshop that it was conducted. It was a 2-day workshop where we discussed each and every piece of the puzzle
Right.
and how the puzzle just comes together, and it will only come together if you have your priorities right.
Definitely.
So it's a fantastic read for all educators sitting over here, and I'd suggest it so one can
We will
add that to
definitely
that
go back.
list.
Definitely.
Thank you so
Definitely.
much.
See, what we're trying to achieve in this 50 minutes is very difficult. We have to discuss this at length, because this is one very important aspect of teaching and learning and the school atmosphere. It is very important that we have a culture in school. And it's the culture of that school that differentiates that school from other schools. Okay? An integral part of a school is the teacher. And they need to be heard, they need to be taken part, involved in decision making, and see, they will give their best. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Soumya Brata. May I now request Ms. Bharti to present a small token of appreciation.